Show me something. Hello and welcome back to the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Trevor.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Will.
And this week I brought the boys What We Do in the Shadows, Taika Waititi film from 2014 in honor of Spooky Month. So
Happy October.
Yeah.
Happy October, everyone.
Spooktober.
Spooktober.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? What's going on? A little bit of housekeeping before we get going.
Doing
Anything
good.
new?
Nothing.
Not really
Yeah,
much.
nothing
Not
new.
since the last recording, no.
No? What
I've
is
got a
everyone
rug
drinking?
now, so hopefully
Oh,
less echoey.
That's good.
Yeah.
You didn't sound too echoey last time we spoke.
That's good.
But I'm sure that mic is better than what I'm hearing in Discord, so who knows?
Who knows?
We could fingers crossed.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
nothing too new. I'm going to New York next week. But
Well, that's fun.
beyond that, I've just watched a lot of DC movies over the last week for some reason. And by a lot, I mean all of them.
What?
That is a lot.
Why?
I don't know. I think I'm stuck in a very weird franchise rut because I've watched 7 of the Fast and the Furious movies in the last month, and now I'm making my way through DC, which I told myself I would never do. So, yeah, I'm halfway through Wonder Woman 84, and then I'll be all caught up.
Damn.
They're shitty as fuck. They're really bad.
They're not good. Original
they're-
Wonder Woman's pretty good.
I'm enjoying the second Wonder Woman too. To be fair, everyone told me it sucked, but I don't think it's that bad. I haven't finished it yet, so we'll see if that changes.
The ending's
but
just dog.
yeah, Wonder Woman is for sure the only one that's even halfway good, and even it has. Like,
That's the one that
incredibly
I've
dumb
seen.
Moments.
It was a good
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Dude, I just like. We'll have to just talk about it a different time because I could talk about it forever. I watched the fucking Snyder cut.
Never.
It's 4 hours. It's 4 hours long. And it's so fucking stupid. From like the minute you start it, it's like, wow, this is a dumb movie. And then for 3 hours and 59 more minutes, it's that exact feeling. It's just like really, it's fascinating. I look forward to 15, 20 years in the future when someone like goes back and like writes a book about who decided to make these films and like who greenlit them and who said that these plot things were okay to do. Because I have so many questions, and I hope that they get answered in a future theoretical novel or nonfiction film.
They won't.
I guess.
I hope
Yeah,
so,
they won't.
dude.
I know.
They'll be answered.
Dang.
It's
The people demand it.
It's
the people
wild.
demand justice.
I demand justice for sure.
Yeah.
Justice for Justice League.
Yep.
Also, fuck Ben Affleck.
Damn.
That's the last point that I'll make on that. Everything else is good, but my life is weird right now for sure.
Okay.
I'm in a weird place.
I'm in a weird place. I mean, you should see my letterbox for September. It's like 18 movies, and 12 of them are Fast and the Furious or DC movies. It's like really,
That's gross.
It's really weird.
What a departure from what you like to bring to the table. All these like
100%.
fantastic.
Yeah, you're really
like,
cutting
kind
out all
of
the
niche
movies
films.
that Trev could bring for us.
To be fair, I've not seen any of the. Have I seen any of the Fast and Furious all the way through? I don't think I
See,
have.
I feel like a lot of people haven't, and that's a grave injustice, I think, because
I
they
wanna
are
watch
really-
them all.
They're really fun. They're so dumb.
I've
but
seen
they're
the
really
second
fun.
one, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Of all the ones to randomly
It's a
see,
great
that
one,
is
dude.
probably the weirdest one.
It's a
It's
great
not a
one.
good one at all. It's the
great.
worst one.
It's
that
the one
I've
that
seen.
takes place in
It's not.
Miami, right?
Yeah, it's dog
Yeah, it's
shit.
tight.
That's a dog shit movie. No, it's
Young
Oh
Ludacris
my gosh.
yeah, young Ludacris.
steals the show. Period.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
I saw
Beyond
Venom. I saw Venom.
Ooh.
Yeah. The
Did you go to
Venom
the
2
theater?
Carnage. Yeah. When I just got back yesterday for everyone from a bachelor party from my buddy Trevor.
Not Trevor.
Nope, not Trevor. Trevor. Hey, bud, if you're listening, you probably aren't.
Rip.
And we were up in North Carolina for the past, like over the weekend for like 4 days or whatever. And while there, he's a huge Marvel head, so it's like, all right, we're gonna go watch it. And so we did, and 2 of the groomsmen fell asleep during the movie.
Damn. Well, they've been
sounds about
drinking
right.
since they woke up, brother.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So it was fun though. I liked the movie actually. It wasn't bad. The post-credit scene is very important.
All these fucking movies with post-credits sequences, I'm like over it. It loses
Snyder Cut
the fun when they just do it every single time. There's not fun anymore.
The Snyder Cut has 5 separate epilogues.
5?
That's tight.
5.
It's like
Venom
it's like
Carnage
the
at least
Clue.
had one. It's just got the one Venom
Yeah,
does,
no.
so.
Justice League has 5 separate scenes that are labeled as an epilogue.
Damn.
You know, it's good. They weren't able to quite choose, huh? It's a choose
4 hour
your
runtime.
own adventure book.
Couldn't
Oh my
squeeze them
gosh.
in. I heard Venom is terrible, but I haven't seen the first one, so
I heard it was a
Venom-
good time.
Venom is just fun. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's just like you sit down, you kind of turn your brain off, you watch the
Tom
action
Hardy,
and the
dude.
comedy.
Venom.
Tom
does a
Hardy's
good
had
job.
such an interesting career.
He has.
He was like the next big thing for a few years, and then just ended up doing really shitty, weird stuff.
I definitely recommend watching both of them. Woody Harrelson does a good job in the Let There Be Carnage movie. It was cool. It was a really good time.
Yeah,
And then we proceeded to go and get super drunk in downtown Asheville.
Nice.
So
Asheville's beautiful.
Asheville is beautiful. It was some damn good burgers and barbecue.
Shout
So,
out
yeah.
Asheville.
Shout
I
out
went
Asheville.
I went whitewater rafting as well. And that was
damn.
fun. So I'm recovering.
Good
Yeah.
times.
Recovering
these guys
with
still
with
talk
a
to-
gin.
These guys still talk me into drinking. So
We didn't
yeah, I'm
talk
having-
you into
that's-
anything.
I don't know what
you
you're talking about. I'm
volunteered
drinking,
yourself.
I'm drinking coconut water. I don't know what you mean.
You have rum in yours.
Not of my coconut water.
Well, you just had rum. What the fuck?
He says no.
Why are you being like this?
He says it didn't happen. He says false. I'm drinking the Shipyard Florida Brewed orange, blood orange Belgian style.
Ooh, that
I've
sounds
never not
good.
had an orange beer.
It's his blood orange. My
Blood
friend.
orange is still an orange.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
still an orange, but
It's
it
real
still
good.
sounds good.
It's very good.
That is not coconut water that you just sipped, Will.
Only if you're on YouTube will you know the answer. So
Subscribe
Well, can
to
you tell- I don't know.
youtube.com/c/the Harbor Boys.
bingo.
So-
We're gonna keep it ambiguous for all our Apple Pod spotty heads, and SoundCloud, of course, the OGs.
Even if you're on
big
YouTube,
spotty
it was
heads.
just a glass with liquid
Trevor's
in it.
so
It wasn't
mad
like a
right
lake.
I've never heard Trevor more mad in my life. He's being
You have?
gas-
Trevor's 7
he's being
gins deep and he's
gaslit
trying
for
to
the
pretend
first
like he's
time ever.
sober.
All right, so to the movie. What did you guys think? Jacob, I think you go first.
Shit. I was expecting someone to go before me for some reason. Yeah, the movie. It was a lot of fun. I watched it with Abby. Probably like 3 or 4 nights ago. It was a good time. I had been wanting to watch it anyway. I had kind of forgotten about it, and then when the TV show came on, when it it's on FX, I was like, oh right, that was a movie that I completely missed, and I still want to see. And then Trevor was like, I'll show it, and I was like, tight.
Well, I was like, I would show this, but you guys have definitely seen it. And
We
then
haven't.
You guys both were like, we haven't. I'm like, what the hell? I was so surprised you guys hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Slacking.
Taika Waititi's classic, I think the only other movie I'd seen from him is Jojo Rabbit before this, which is also
good.
It's also a fun movie. Yeah, it was just a good time. I like the style of it. It's funny that it's like a mockumentary. It's always nice when those are done well, because if they're not done well, they're a nightmare to sit through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It was a funny movie. All the characters were fun. The plot was interesting. With all the different vampires, it was cool that like they were vampires from like different vampire movie eras, which is really fun. Yeah, I had a good time with it. I'd give it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10, around there.
All right.
Yeah.
Not as high as I was expecting, but still good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It's a good time for sure. A big shout out to its 1 hour, 25-minute runtime. That's
Perfect
delightful.
runtime.
Great change of pace from Trevor too. He of 27 episode animes. So that was really nice. I watched it last night. And like Cobb, have been meaning to watch it for a long time. Have almost started the show multiple times, but I keep telling myself like I should see the movie first just to have context for the show, even though they're not related. Yeah, it was great. It's funny. I think it's a good mix of like genre humor slapstick humor and like, you know, kind of stupid like dude humor. Which, you know, is hit or miss, I think, in certain parts of the film, but overall it is really funny. I love Taika Waititi. I think he's deservedly, you know, in the limelight with all these kind of big gigs that he's getting. I also recommend Hunt for the Wilder People, which is a movie he made, I think after this, but before his Thor movie.
Right. Yeah, I've seen Ragnarok as well.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize when I watched it that it was Taika Waititi.
Yeah. That's like top 3 maybe Marvel movies for me. He's just got a, you know, good voice, literally and I think directorially. I think he also has a great actual speaking voice, largely due to New Zealand accents just being fun. But
they are fun. Jermaine Clements.
He's got great comedic timing.
He's got great comedic timing. He's a good director too. I think there's a lot of really cool aspects of this film in terms of like the way it was made. Because it seems relatively low budget. I'm assuming that it's low budget.
I believe it is, yeah.
There are like cool ways that they've played within the confines of a low budget film to make it seem, you know, higher budget. And it makes me want to check out Flight of the Conchords because Jermaine Clement was really wonderful too as Vladislav, which I've never watched. So
I have not either.
Good time. I'm also 7.5. It's a great comedy. I don't think comedies really crack 8+ for me. You know, they're comedies. They're not generational type of things. There are some.
I think it depends on the comedy, my guy.
Yeah, that's fair. But for me, there's only a small handful that I can think off the top of my head that I would put above an 8. Generally speaking, they're a good time. You're gonna put me on the spot.
You don't have to. I was just sorry.
No, I can do Step Brothers and Superbad are probably the 2.
Yeah, I was thinking Superbad as well.
I would put
Superbad
up there. Step Brothers is a personal pick, and I think Superbad is like a more objectively perfect.
Step Brothers is hilarious, dude. I think
Step Brothers is really funny.
I think definitely our generation loves that movie. Both of those really.
So yeah, 7.5. It's a good time for sure. Definitely watch it. Although it is a vampire movie, but it was bloodier and more violent than I expected it to be in parts. So just beware of that if you're squeamish or not super big fan of like blood and guts.
It was kind of like goofy gore most of the time, though.
Some of it, yeah, but I mean it also didn't look like super fake. Like it was like, oh,
yeah, okay, that's fair.
You know, like it's if you're not a fan of realistic looking blood and guts, maybe just like be warned that is going to happen sporadically. And without warning, really.
Really out of nowhere. It's like,
It's like, whoa.
The really bad parts with like the guts and stuff was blurred out for the most part.
Yeah, there's still some pretty bloody moments though.
Oh yeah, there's some very bloody moments.
But there should be. I mean, it's a vampire movie. You know, it's. I'm not knocking it for that. Just a warning for my fellow Squeam heads.
Classic Squeam heads, dude.
Squeam. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad to have finally seen it. I'm definitely gonna check the show out too, because I've heard it's wonderful, and now I feel like I've, ticked the box for having seen the film. So, yeah, thanks, Trev. Glad to have finally watched it.
Glad you guys liked it. Yeah, I also have not seen the show. It's funny. Before I brought this, I had just rewatched this movie like a couple of weeks ago with somebody else, like their first time seeing it, and then we were talking about Halloween stuff. I was like, well, this, and you guys hadn't seen it, so I was like, I'll just rewatch it. Screw it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it. Loved watching this movie. One of my favorite comedies, I think. It's up there at least. I give this one easy like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I really like this one. Taika Waititi's great. Everyone else in the movie's great. Stu's fantastic. Just that's a great plot line all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the goat.
He is the goat. Stu's the goat. And yeah, I'm really happy that I brought something that you guys liked. I will agree that shorter run time is kind of refreshing.
It's nice.
As opposed to 27 episodes or 3 hours, depending on what's going on.
Yeah, for what it's worth, also, I think that comment that I made is partially a dig at you for sure, but is also largely influenced by the fact that I've been watching these like 3-4 hour DC movies over the weekend. So either way, it's like really nice to come into a film and not expect to sit there for the entire night and maybe even some bit of the morning to watch it.
There's not enough movies anymore that are under 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Not under 2 hours, man.
Yeah,
every movie is 2
under
hours.
2
now.
hours,
It's
yeah.
insane.
It's ridiculous.
insane.
Like, give us something a little more.
2 hour and 15-minute comedy. You're like,
Time
whoa.
is valuable, bro. Like, Funny People was like 3 hours. You know, Judd Apatow got way too fucking big for his britches and started making these like very long movies. Anyway, I digress. Sorry.
It's all good.
Sounds like
Fun
bad
thing about
edit.
this, though, while looking into this film a little bit, they did actually shoot over 125 hours of mostly improv
That's amazing.
for this movie, and then took about a year to edit it down into a 90-minute film.
I would love to
So-
see some stuff that got left on the cutting room floor.
For sure. And it definitely feels a bit improv-y, and some of the...
The dialogue does, for sure.
Yeah, and then especially some of the moments with, like, throughout the story where it seems like stuff is happening on the same night. But once I saw that clip, you'll notice that they don't wear the same clothes on the same night sometimes. And that's probably because it was just like, well, this fits better in this portion of the story. Who cares about the continuity of their clothes? Whatever, screw it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it at all.
Neither did
Well,
I. They were always wearing wacky clothes, so I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
No, I've seen this movie so many times now, I guess, that I'm starting to pick up on stuff like that. It doesn't change anything. It's still fantastic.
Yeah, agree. It's a good
But-
time for sure.
Oh, I love this movie. And it's great for Halloween. Yeah.
It is, yeah. We gonna
'Cause
jump
I don't like
into the spooky zone?
Spoiler spooky zone.
Let me just pick up on a joke that I couldn't make because we weren't in the spoiler zone yet. But you guys said Stu's the goat, and I wanted to say more like the wolf.
That's good.
We
That's very
couldn't. We
good.
couldn't yet. You know, so I felt that it was worth coming back to.
Man, that scene was
Yeah.
fucked.
That was.
They
you guys
tossed
actually-
him
did
in
you
the
think he
air and
died?
they just ripped his guts apart. I was like, oh,
It's
Stu.
insane.
I honestly
I was
didn't
hoping-
think that he was going to become I thought he was just dead. And I was
Yeah.
truly like, R.I.P. my guy.
Rip Stu.
I
yeah.
thought they were all gonna get killed by the werewolves, and that's just how it would end. And I was like, this is fucking amazing.
That would have been cool, yeah.
That would have been an interesting ending, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the everyone coming together kind of thing.
The camaraderie of the two groups at the end of the film is really funny and cute. The werewolves were great. I mean, you know, it's like it's not. I don't think a smart joke, but werewolves, not swearwolves, is just so.
It's really
phenomenal.
funny, yeah.
It's so good.
So
for
great.
some reason, it reminds me of in Nemo, fish are friends, not food.
Yeah.
Like it's just got a similar vibe to that, but it's
Yeah.
still hilarious.
I've seen that first scene where they interact with each other on the top of the parking garage, wherever the hell they are at the parking lot. I've seen that before out of context, so it made me laugh a lot more in context because I knew the characters a bit more. But
Very cool.
yeah,
I love.
Who's your
I love
favorite?
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, Chuck.
No,
No,
you
go
go.
ahead.
I like this. I like this.
Okay.
No, this is. I was more or less
Oh.
leading into the similar thing.
Okay, cool. Who is your favorite vampire?
Me first.
Anyone? I'm throwing it out
Go
there.
for it,
Jacob,
Trev.
you go first.
Oh, I think my favorite is got to be. I'll go Vladislav. I think Jermaine Clement's take on like the what is it? It's
Vlad the Impaler.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Gary Oldman style guy type vampire.
Wait, what is Gary Oldman a vamp in?
He, I think it's in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Haven't seen it.
Like it's only when he gets like real fucking decrepit when he gets like that, really.
That's funny.
When his soul gets like taken away when he's mad at the beast, or like I don't know. There's like the weird thing with the beast at the end where he's like
he's
scared
up-
of her
he's
and
upset.
like drained of
Yeah.
energy.
He
But
hasn't
I
eaten
thought his
anyone in a
character
while.
was really funny because I don't know, him being like the poker and like
The Facebook joke.
yeah, there was
We
just
can poke her, and he just looks at Stu and is like, yes, let's do that.
when he's
Please.
shooting the arrows, he's doing target
Yeah.
practice and like that scene is
Iago
just, like, a couple
catches it in the
seconds
leg.
long. I feel like he's good comedic support to Viago's character.
Yeah, I agree. I think Vlad is kind of maybe not the easy pick, but he was the good pick for me. Although I really do love Viago because I just think the 18th century dandy like character type is
It's
really funny.
He's so
like,
innocent. He like
he's
hides his
so-
fangs, his like with his lips. He's like
Yes,
he's always like doing a weird thing with his mouth.
So funny. Yeah, he has probably most of my like favorite moments of the movie are about Viago, but I also love Vladislav a lot. Also, honorable mention to Peter, who just is genuinely terrifying.
Rip Peter.
Rip Peter, dude.
Genuinely terrifying. And go ahead, Trevor. Let's do your favorites before
I mean, I'm kind of right there with you guys. I think Viago is up there just because he's so freaking funny, but Vladislav is second, if not tied for first. I would put them both at the top with Peter.
I think Vlad is the cooler vampire, but Viago is funnier to me, if that makes sense. But Deacon is automatic worst character, right?
I'm going to say he's not. Yeah, he's out of the group. Well, I'll say that, but I also think that he is incredibly necessary. I don't think that the movie would be better without him. I think that he is an important character to have.
But I also haven't seen The Lost Boys, which I guess is the vampire style he's based on.
Me either.
So, like, I don't completely understand his, like...
Me either.
His, like... He's supposed to be, like, young and edgy, but he's, like, middle-aged. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like a Nazi.
I was like...
yeah, he was a Nazi.
And, like, his character arc was kind of not my favorite. Like, he was, like, mad at Nick a lot. It seemed like it was like a forced, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but the bat fight was great.
The bat fight was hilarious.
Oh, it was so good, and just the part where he's holding him back when Vladislav's holding him back in the kitchen and the cops come.
Yeah, when Viago, I'm completely derailing us now, but when Viago does like the hypnotize on the cops right at first, I was like, there's no fucking way that's gonna work. And they walk in and they just like don't say anything, and I had like forgotten that he did that. I was like, oh wait, it actually worked. Because they're just like, oh, look at that, no smoke alarm. You know, they do like the classic.
It's so funny.
Misdirect.
It's
so
good.
That
scene is so great, dude. When they're just walking around the house trying to find shit, and the audience is just on the like edge of their seat because like he mentions in like the little interview thing, he's like, I'm not good at mind control.
I'm not good at hypnotism. It could wear off any second.
They're all just like looking, and they're like, and then they let them keep wandering around because Viago's like, we need to find where more safety hazards are.
I love the dead guy though, the vampire hunter in the basement, and they're just like, well, what's with this guy? They're like, he drunk. It's like, and the other guy's like, his soul's in hell. He's like, well, maybe, I don't know where his soul is, but where's his blanket?
Yeah, and then they're like, the concrete slab's not going to be good, mate.
He's gonna be sore in the morning.
Yeah. Really
also, really cool that was tied back to Nick just wandering around town telling people he's a vampire. And then this random guy that like seems like he's fucking with him is like, oh yeah, no, I'm a vampire hunter. It's just like comes back and fucking kills Peter. Of all of them, Peter's like 1,000 years old.
He was so scary when he gets introduced. I genuinely jumped when he did his like first hiss at Viago. I mean, I'm of course the anointed scary boy of the pod, but
I feel like his tone changes a lot though throughout the movie.
Like, Peter?
Yeah. Like, I feel like in the beginning when they're introducing him, he's, like, horrifying, and they don't even care if he's at the meeting. They, like, didn't want to bring him out. And then, like, later on, they're, like, buddying around with him. He's the one that turns some of them into vampires. It's just, like... And, like, they're talking to him, and he's, like, nodding and understanding and stuff, and just, like, being normal. It's, like... It seems like a very big tone shift on his character.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's definitely interesting. It seems like they just wanted to go a different direction with him after the beginning, but I don't know what the shot order is. Just because it was such like improv style, like I don't know, what they were thinking at the time.
I don't know, I just love the part whenever Nick is about to get turned and he's running out the front door, and they're like, "Oh, Peter got him," and then they were gonna kill him, and they're like, "Poor guy." Oh fuck.
That scene was really good too.
That was cool
when they invite Nick and whoever the girl was. I don't know.
So scary,
Josephine.
Dude. It's so scary. Yeah, that music is so terrifying. It's like weird, like accordion, like fight music. It comes back later in the film.
It's like so funny though when they're like floating in the hallway all together, like going out of turret. It's like not menacing at all. They're just like floating there.
And the callback to Vladislav not being able to get the faces right on animals anymore.
Dude, the Vladislav cat, that's one of my notes. I laughed so hard when they walked by that. He's just like, it's like a stupid little cat.
But his face.
I'm at an 8 out of 10. I take it back. This movie's really funny. It's 8 out of 10.
It's so funny. All right.
It's good. It's really good.
And the poor
Just
dog,
lots of-
though. Oh, sorry. Just
No,
the
no.
poor dog at the end that when they're like, yeah, we've been having these monthly dog attacks.
Terrible.
And that poor little border collie, and they're just like, he's going to have to get put down. And they just shoot to him. He's just like, oh.
Yeah, that
You
was
see,
really
like, he,
funny
like,
when the
walks up
dog
to the
looks
body
at the
and-
camera.
He's like, look what you did.
Yeah.
He like tells the dog, look what you did. Yeah, it was
The
great.
poor pup, dude. Apparently,
pup.
those
Like,
two
what?
characters are like from a TV show too, which I didn't realize until I looked it up. They're from.
Oh, really?
The cops?
Yeah, I think it's paranormal something. It's like a TV show just about those two cops in New Zealand, and they like
that's
look
funny.
up like paranormal crimes and like explain it to where it's just like normal stuff. Let me see if I can find what it's called. You guys keep
That
going.
makes it even
Well, you-
funnier, actually.
Yeah, that does. It's like an in-house reference. What'd you guys think of Nick?
Nick,
I liked his
Nick's a-
character.
yeah, it's not a terrible character, but he's
It's
he's
called
not
Wellington
great.
Paranormal, by the way. And
Wellington
they're the
Oh,
same
Paranormal.
exact characters.
Nick is in Wellington Paranormal.
Yeah.
The actor who plays Nick is in that movie too. I don't know if it's the same character, but
Is he really?
yeah,
Huh.
or in that show, I guess.
I think
That's
it said
kinda
he was
cool.
just in one episode, and he was like,
Oh, okay.
he was playing the Nick character. It was like the
That's
vampire
amazing.
episode. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Good
Yeah.
crossover.
Yeah, but I liked Nick as a character overall. He has his moments where I'm like, Nick, you stupid fuck.
Yeah,
what are
I
you
hated him
doing?
at first, but I grew to like him.
I thought
throughout
he
the
was pretty
movie.
relatable out of the characters. I thought he was a pretty good, like, modern, like, person being a vampire with these
Modern.
fucking weird, like, 18th century guys.
Yeah,
It
Eating the
definitely
French
made a
fry.
good dynamic, I think.
yeah. Eating the French fry and vomiting blood for like 30 minutes is maybe the
He
most
was-
devastating thing I've ever seen in a film.
It was insane. And he was so sad. He was like, chips are my favorite food.
Can't have him anymore.
I would be so sad.
Yeah.
The best, my favorite Nick bit was him telling everyone he's from Twilight. Just like, I'm
the
the
makeup.
vampire from the movie. I'm like, what? That really got me. I don't know why, but yeah,
That was good.
He was good. Good bits.
Yeah,
I'm glad he
that
turned
montage of... Oh, sorry, Trevor, go.
No, you're good. You go. You go.
I was just going to say the montage of him telling everybody that he's a vampire is
Great.
really funny. It's
Yeah,
just...
that was really
It's great.
It's so unexpected, and then it just keeps ramping up harder and harder. And just out of nowhere, he just walks up to people, I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
Just in the street, vampire. I do love that he turned Jackie though. Like Jackie deserved to be turned.
I felt
after,
so bad
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
Fucking Vladislav, dude. What a dick.
No, that's
No,
Deacon.
that's Deacon, yeah.
Oh, right. Deacon. Exactly. Worst character. Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
Cuckold. What a piece of shit.
He's such an asshole, dude.
Fuck
He
Deacon.
was.
And so,
Wow.
is it supposed to be like she... Because I know they say she's his familiar and that she has to do anything that he says, but is that actually true? Is she like mind controlled to have to do what he says? Because
I
it
think
seems
with
like
the-
she has some free will. She like is like, oh, I don't really want to do it, but I'll do it because I just want to be a vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I think
it's
it's like a combination of that where like she's in the long haul for the eternal life, but like whenever he's telling her to bring people over and then he's like leave, like he
Yeah.
does the quick hypnosis thing to like get her to leave at
Yeah.
that moment, but I think overall she's in it for she wants to be a vampire. She wants to live forever.
I
so-
also didn't realize that humans could be familiars.
I think that's generally how it goes. I mean, we got Viago's
I just
servant.
mean in general, not in
That was
vampire
funny.
lore. I mean like
Oh.
in like when you have like a familiar in like D&D.
Aren't they? It's a different concept, though. I think, right? Like the familiars that
I think of like
with.
I think of like little
Hey!
animals, little like kittens.
Yeah, I think of animals
Yeah.
too, but that's from the Golden Compass, I think, right? For me at least.
Well, I have
And
not
D&D.
fucking seen that.
Yeah.
With the polar
I
bear.
haven't seen it either.
Oh,
I've
okay.
read it. Yeah,
Daniel
but,
Craig, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I know
think
Lin
he's in
Manuel Miranda's in the show, which is, whatever. I like him
Whatever.
for Hamilton, but the books are fucking amazing though. Philip Pullman, great books.
Yeah, Daniel
Anyway.
Craig and Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman's in that.
You know it, dude. Dakota
I
Blue
only
Richards.
I watched the first episode and I was like, this is
Ian
mid at
McKellen.
best. Whoa,
Freddie Highmore. Christopher Lee.
Are you sure? Are you talking about a
Who's
show?
Freddie Highmore?
This is the movie.
This is the
Who's
movie.
Shreddy Haunch?
Okay.
I was gonna
I'm
say.
talking
He's
about
some
the show.
kid. You'd recognize. He's the kid from fucking Sixth Sense.
Never seen it.
Oh,
Too
okay.
spooky.
I've seen it. It's good.
Maybe we'll show it.
It's
There's
not
an
that spooky.
HBO. There's an HBO adaptation.
Oh,
the
that's
show.
not what I was talking. I was talking about.
That's
the
what I'm
dog shit
talking
movie.
about. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie where they made the first of 3 and never made the second and
Well, you
third because
can't.
the first
It's
one
like,
was so bad.
It's like what happened with the Aragorn movies or Aragon or whatever the fuck it is. Which
Aragon.
one
Dude,
is
that
it?
book slapped. The
They
fucking
s-
16-year-old wrote those books.
They screwed up those movies though. Like the whole plot
There
line
is.
for the later books were just completely just dead in the water after because they just screwed them up in the movie.
Peter Jackson too. That's a dead franchise.
No, the show. They're coming out with the show.
That's a dead
Wait.
franchise, Trevor.
You
You mean
Percy Jackson?
What did I say? Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Peter
The
Jackson.
director of Lord of the Rings. Very much not a dead franchise.
Percy Jackson has a show coming out that Rick Riordan is actually heavily involved in.
Who?
Who?
The writer of Peter Jackson. Percy
Peter
fuck, you got
Jackson?
me saying. Percy Jackson. He's the original author of Percy Jackson, so he's heavily
Never
He's
heard
no
of him.
Christopher Paolini.
Never heard. Oh,
Listen, I
they
was a
just
Percy
dropped
Jackson
the teaser trailer for House of Dragon. The new.
What is that?
It's the Game of Thrones prequel.
They're actually making one of them?
Yeah. They dropped the teaser today.
All right, cool.
So,
I'm gonna
to date
mute
us,
myself
it's-
and go watch that.
October 5th. They show almost nothing in it, but it was
classic.
cool.
It's
It
like
was
the 30-second
hypey.
bullshit.
It was like 1.5 minutes.
30 seconds of like a landscape, and then that last
It was
second
hypey.
is
It was
just
hypey. They showed a couple
flat.
Did
characters.
they show characters?
Yeah, they showed a couple of them.
Oh,
Did they
showed
show any
characters.
draggies?
They showed the new Iron Throne, which is tight.
New or old Iron Throne?
It's like, you know how in the books there's more swords on the Iron
Yeah.
Throne? It's supposed to be like more
Yeah.
epic than it was in the TV show. It was real small in the TV show. Well, like the
Yeah.
swords are like all over the steps, like coming up to it, instead of it just being like bare steps like it was in the original show.
This takes place before the show, right?
Yeah, it's when the Targaryens first reigned.
It's like the Age of the Targaryens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'd just rather read the books.
the books,
I should
the books
read the
slap,
books.
dude. The books are fucking amazing.
I know. I've read most of them.
And the Duncan
should
Egg
read them.
novels too. Those fucking slap hard too.
When the fuck is Winds of Winter coming out?
Fucking never, dude. He gave up. He's done.
I
That's
thought he
the
locked
biggest
himself
cup
in
of
like
all
a
time.
cabin. Didn't he lock himself in a cabin to like finish
I
writing
feel like
it?
he said that multiple times.
He also said that we were allowed to arrest him if he didn't release it like last year. So like,
Let's
and
go.
he didn't.
Let's go on a plane to that fucking cabin, dude. You're getting arrested, George.
Let's find the cabin. All right, but let's go back to what this TV show is about, or this movie.
You mean movie?
Movie.
Listen, all right, I'm sauced off, taking 2 beer skis. I had 5 of these the other night. Felt terrible the next day.
Deep Rock Galactic. Quick shout out to Deep Rock Galactic. I'm not sure if that's gotten a pod mention
DRG.
yet, but that's
That
a
is-
slapping ass game.
it
that
is
we've
a
all
slapping
had a lot
game.
of fun with, and more people should be aware of and be playing with us.
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
play, we're on our server, on the Show Me Something server. It's live as we speak.
It's not.
Thousands of fans in there too if you want to join up.
Yes,
We're talking all sorts of shit. We're playing all sorts of games. Game night every Thursday. That's what it is.
Okay.
Isn't it Friday?
I mean, all that information was fake, so you don't have to correct me
It
on a
doesn't
day.
matter. Oh,
This is one of the
gosh.
bits
There
where
are
I give
thousands
out
of people
fake
in the server,
information.
though. That part was real. Thousands, literal thousands of
There's
people.
3 of us.
Yeah. So should we talk about the Vamp conference?
Yeah,
The
let's vamp
Unholy
it up.
Masquerade.
That was pretty fun.
It was
which is
good. A lot of
the,
good characters.
The Vampire Society, the Witch Club, and the Zombie Society.
I liked
of
the zombies
Black
a
or
lot.
Whatever.
The
I
guy,
loved that it
the
was just,
main
like, those 3
zombie,
groups.
he was like so polite. He was like,
He was.
He's like, can I ask you a question? he's like, but he's like
Are you,
moving real slow, kind of fucked up. He's like,
He's trying not to go full zombie.
and
Like,
Stu
you know,
is
whatever.
just,
Yeah.
Stu's like, oh, okay.
How the fuck do you bring Stu to that? I just don't understand.
Because
Because he
Nick's
was his
kind of
plus
stupid.
one. He was his plus
He's
one.
so
and that's
dumb.
fair.
But Nick is also stupid.
it's so,
so-
funny though. It's such a funny excuse. Like he's like, we were allowed a plus one,
It didn't state the +1 had to be not a human.
and they
Like,
and then they argue that point, and they're like, that's true. That is true.
If we think about it, Nick is the villain of this film. He gets Peter killed,
yeah.
and he gets Stu made into a fucking werewolf.
I mean,
Can we
isn't
talk
really
about
another
how
villain other
Stu
than
is
the
like
Beast.
the most relatable character on Earth? He like doesn't
Stu
want
is so rad.
he doesn't want to speak too loud in a crowd. He's like really helpful. He's like,
Yeah, he's a vibe. Stu's a vibe. We should get Stu shirts.
they didn't have a pen when they had to cross out the first thing where it's like you're not allowed to bring humans, because then they were like, well, actually Stu's pretty great. We'll keep Stu around. And then he was
That
like,
part was great too.
He was like, thanks guys.
Thanks, guys. I love that they're like, Nick, you are banished, but Stu, you can come visit. He's like, thanks.
Was
He
it the
teaches
shame
them karate.
circle?
He does.
Yeah, the karate was great. Oh,
The
one,
looking up of pictures of virgins. He's like, we can
Yep.
look at pictures of virgins. They're like, yeah.
and they were
That was
like,
pretty
definitely
funny.
not a virgin. Good joke. You know, there's like good jokes the whole time.
It's like, I don't
Yeah.
think she's a
The,
virgin if she's doing that. Yeah.
The one good thing Deacon did was his little dance. That like, I don't know when or where it was. It was Deacon, right? That was dancing.
Yeah, this was when we are introduced
Which
to Nick being a vampire. It's like 2 months later after the dinner party.
Yeah, and he comes in. He tries to come in the window, right? And Deacon's like performing.
Deacon's doing
for-
the
Oh
erotic
right, his
dance.
sexual dance. He's like, my friends were loving it.
So funny. That dance is so funny.
I think he called it his
I mean,
erotic dance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was erotic.
Deacon's a piece of shit, but that's a great dance. I laughed. That was like one of the hardest I laughed in the whole movie.
I also like that he was mad that that he was wearing the same coat.
It wasn't the same.
It wasn't at all. It was just had the similar buttons that
The
like,
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, those lines. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
I mean, Deacon did knit Stu that sweater or that scarf.
That's fair.
And he also
he had good sweaters.
he had the good sweater, and he also oh god, what was it? Like when Nick comes in after like interrupting the erotic dance, Nick was like, I saw the end of it. It was good. He's like, oh, thanks. It's just that nice little like moment where he's like, okay.
Nick trying to get in that window was really funny too. Just took so long for him to like float in the right way.
And their fight like in the rotating hallway. Or
that was
whatever.
cool. Very
That's
Inception.
the budget. That's the budget shit I'm talking about. Like that looked
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
That looked awesome.
I wonder if they did the same thing as Inception, where they like spun a hallway like on like a motor.
Have to.
Oh, absolutely, they did.
It's in like a tractor trailer.
Yeah.
Just whipping it around.
Can we, Trevor? Did you see that Stu was also like in the trivia that it said that he was also like hired onto the film, supposedly supposed to be like a incredibly minor role, but also do like computer work for the film, and then they ended up just being like this major character.
No,
Yeah,
that's
he like hadn't
amazing.
really done anything before this. He had done like a couple small things, and then like he just fell into this role of being Stu.
That's amazing. And his role,
I love-
And that's his
job in
real
the
name
movie
too.
is
He's just Stu.
wow. That's incredible. Isn't he
I
like a
love
computer
that.
guy in the movie too?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
works for.
Yeah, it's like he does
works
the
in
same thing in the
computers.
movie that he was like kind of supposed to do.
That's so funny. Yeah,
And I
it's
love that
great.
moment where in the Unholy Masquerade, they're like, Stu, what do you do? And he starts explaining, and then like,
Yeah.
he's a virgin. And he's definitely.
They like couldn't hear him like 4 times in a row, and he was like, "Oh god."
Yeah, speak up. He
It was
has, like,
such a
scream.
nightmare. It was a nightmare for everyone. I think that could watch it. It was
horrible.
like, oh god.
Also, can we
Absolutely
talk about how the
He looked
the,
great though. Great
the-
bow tie.
What is it? The Dark Cathedral is like some like community center or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
like,
just a community center.
Generic ass like rec room type deal.
Dude,
the bowling club or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
the guy that Vladislav fought though is so disgusting looking. He was
Oh,
like his
yeah.
face was all fucked up. Why was the Beast dating him?
Who
He's
knows?
a beast.
Also, great
She's
build
the
up
Beast.
for the Beast.
Oh,
Yeah,
very.
Great reveal. Great reveal.
Yeah, because like they constantly showed like these like medieval style drawings of in quotes the Beast, where it's
Yeah.
like there's like a dick on the chest where the belly button's supposed to be. It's like winged and like goat legs and shit, and it's like
All sorts.
Horrifying.
yeah, but then it ends up just being like this kind of normal lady that happens to be a vampire too.
Yeah. Great. Great content.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
it's a good time. This is a
I do
great
love-
time, Trev.
I love all
I-
the stories too, where they're like, yeah, Vladislav's always telling us about these battles with the Beast. It's like,
In a bar.
like you can it's a good build up. It's like classic that they know in their heads that it's all just bullshit just because it's his ex, but the
Yeah.
audience is like still being led on to believe that it's this creature from hell.
Yeah.
I do love though whenever they are talking about the fights, the one that they're like that did actually happen was in the bathroom at a nightclub
Yeah.
They were like,
Scarface
that one was a bad one. Yeah, that was a bad fight. That was.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a great pick, Trev.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
I really
I'm so glad you liked
appreciate
it.
the change of pace, like we were saying earlier. I'm sure next one will Sad Boy be another anime. There he is looking around. He doesn't know anything else.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, for the audio listeners, he's doing dodgy eyes.
I will say our October is going to be full of spookiness from, spoiler alert, Ned's Declassified and from Show Me Something. So if you like this episode, there will be more coming this month. If our releases go correctly, because sometimes we go off the rails. I'm not gonna lie. We just went like 3 months with airing like an episode.
Yeah, that's my fault entirely, though. So
We're an amateur podcast.
It was
We got
everyone.
jobs
It
and
was
shit,
everyone. All right.
you know?
Anybody.
Abby
could have
was the
edited.
glue that was holding us together, and Abby realized that this wasn't worth her fucking time, which took her. To be fair, she stuck it out for a lot longer than she probably should have.
Like 3
But
years.
She was the glue. Yeah, that's a.
thank you, Abby.
Thank you, Abby.
Just say-
She's in the other.
'Cause
room
look at us now.
working. She's working while we're doing this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's great. It's great talking vamps.
But yeah.
Any final
Yeah.
thoughts or anything about this movie? A
final
lot of it's like
thoughts?
improv-y, kind of funny. Like watch it.
It's
Is
goofy.
basically like
Just
what I
watch
gotta
it,
say. You
yeah.
gotta watch the movie. Everybody was great. Jermaine Clement, Taika Waititi, other guys.
Other guys.
Classic.
All
good times,
fantastic.
for sure. I'll probably come back with an update on the show because I'm probably going to start it soon.
I do need to start it at some point. I've been told a bunch of times to watch it, and I've been told
Yeah.
again at the new job to watch it again. So
Yeah, same.
I want to watch it, but I won't say that I will watch it because
Cobb
I
hates
never
TV.
watch TV shows.
I'm the same
God
way.
hates it.
I'm
Hates
so
TV.
bad with it, dude. When I get home, I'd rather just play video games. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Can't argue. Hard
Yeah.
to argue.
I get you, man.
I've lost my ways of being the content boy. It's gone. Everything
All
is
right.
from 15 years ago.
That's fine. I mean, this is old too. Nothing modern.
Yeah. Yeah, so any final thoughts or anything, Trev, before we close it out?
I thank you guys for liking it so much. I'm glad I was able to get something like that was good and not super long for Halloween.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling hard.
Spooky.
And it was almost a couple of different anime, one of which would have been ridiculous, which might come around next year. Who knows?
Oh, God.
So
That's it.
that's
end
it.
the podcast before
Any-
that happens.
any final?
This is actually the
No.
final episode.
Last episode, September 30th, 2022.
Yeah, the farewell episode.
Oh gosh. All right, boys. Any
Rachel.
final thoughts from y'all?
No,
No.
had a good time.
Stay safe.
Go watch it.
Go watch this movie.
Enjoy it.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Show me something.